Hi everyone, it's Elizabeth here. So I wanted to do this video in regards to 3 questions to ask yourself to discover your gifts in life. We are all here for a purpose and a reason. Your soul incarnates on this planet in order to grow and evolve. And depending on the age and the era of the time that you live in, your soul is going to go through different struggles or trials and tribulations in life in order to evolve and become a higher conscious being. Now, in the realm of today, especially in the social media world, we are constantly bombarded with people's success stories. So a lot of times people are perceiving that their gift in life has to be something like becoming famous, becoming a musician or a singer who made it all the way to the end on America's Got Talent. Becoming a social influencer, becoming a popular skateboarder or dancer or YouTube influence or an influencer on YouTube. Um, a lot of these things are very superficial. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't start something and have success in it. I do believe you will go through periods of failures and trials eventually to find your way to the right path in life. So it's like you kind of have a path from A to B. And then there's so many detours that you can take, but somewhere along those, on that road of failures or mistakes, you will eventually find your way to find successes in life. Now, discovering your gifts is very simple and easy to do. We're going to go through that with the questions. Now, the one thing to know is that your gift might be something as simple as being gifted with numbers. For example, one of my former friends who got me into rock climbing told me that he had the ability to calculate compound interest at the age of 7. That's pretty impressive. And ironically, if you look at his sign, he was a Virgo. You know that Virgos are like the accountants of the zodiac, they're super analytical. My former husband, who was a Sagittarian, just started watching like 60 Minutes at the age of 5 and started reading history books as a young kid. And he is like a history buff and understands it. So, and has the ability to speed read. So all of these gifts can be something that seems so minor, but has such a big impact on the world in whole. Obviously, you need people who can help others learn how to, calculate compound interest. And you need people who really understand and know history. So I share those because they're not, sexy gifts by any means, but they are still important in the evolution of humanity. So 3 questions to ask yourself. The first one is, how did you love to spend your time as a child? What did you like to do? Now, as a child, we are all living in some sort of fantasy or fairy tale because we all want to be something like an astronaut, or we wanted to be a professional tennis player, or a mermaid, things like that. But you can kind of look back and analyze in your life some things that you loved doing and enjoying the most as a kid, or what would you do to pass the time as a child, or what activities were you really excited about? I'll share one example. When I was a kid, I loved to make potions. I know that sounds weird, but I think as a child, I still, I had this fascination with the medieval realm, the time of castles. And I used to take little Ziploc bags into the backyard and into the woods, and I would make magic potions. So I was putting in berries from the bushes, putting pine needles, mixing dirt, making these concoctions. As an adult, I now do a food blog. I don't make money off of it, but it's something that makes me very passionate, and I'm excited about nutrition and gardening and environmental concerns and whole foods eating. That, cooking in itself is an experiment of concoctions. It's not a potion, but it is mixing a bunch of ingredients together. So somehow that passion as a child translated to some things that I do in adult life. And these things don't always have to equate to earning money and being successful through the limelight of the social media world. The second question to ask yourself is, what are you passionate about as an adult? What really lights you up or gets you excited, or what things do you find yourself spending hours doing? I don't think that as an adult we should all be living off of passion projects. If we did that, then we would end up in an area where, like the Egyptians enslaved the Jews. They were very enlightened, spiritual people, but you need people to do the mundane tasks in life. So just living in this world of always living off of travel blogging and, things like that, that's not necessarily always successful. But, some people who are just genuinely passionate about traveling may want to do a blog, and they might be really successful out of that. Um, but what is like your gift in life? Another Virgo that I know just loves being that mediator. And you know what? He's a project manager. He's a mediator for various teams that work in the corporate world. Other people are just passionate about being a mom, and they share tips and ideas on how to have better, parenting skills. So not everything has to be a passion project. Everybody wants to be an artist. For example, one of my friends from childhood, like one of the only people I still keep in touch with from childhood, she was a gifted and amazing artist in childhood and in high school. You could tell she has that gift, and that gift translates today through her adult life. That's what she finds passion for. Once again, it doesn't always equal money and success. You have to understand that. Number 3, the third question: what is important to you in life? We all have so many cares that we can give out into the world. So, for example, if you're passionate about writing, but you find the Native American culture and tribes very important to you, you might become a blogger to bring awareness about the indigenous tribes in North America. What is important to you in life? Is it health? Is it family, personal development? Is it career, spirituality, or religion? Very many religious Christians believe that they are doing God's work by spreading the word of God. And that doesn't necessarily always mean by standing in front of a church or handing out pamphlets or knocking on the door, but some people live their life through action. I have a friend who's very Christian, and he tends to find people who are struggling in life, and he always carries like extra Bibles with him. And that's, when he meets these people randomly through his travels or just through life, he gives out Bibles and educates people to find God. And this person is very nomadic. He loves adventure. He loves traveling. It's in his blood. So to some degree, he's still sharing that gift of travel with integrating the gifts and the words of God, if that makes sense. So just look, what is important? Some people are career-oriented work junkies. So maybe your gift of being very good with numbers and with calculation, you might actually be a very high-level accountant for some companies or corporations. That is a gift. Gandhi had a gift of spreading spirituality through kindness. Not everybody will become Gandhi, but we can learn to be like him. So I just want you to, someone like Tony Robbins, he's super mainstream, but he has a gift of communication. And he takes that communication in the personal development world, and he's become successful because he's understood the art of communication and how to get people really, jazzed up and riled up and being passionate about developing yourself and becoming a better version of you. So some of these examples that I share are just to plant the seeds in your brain to understand how important these 3 questions are in life. So the first question is, how did you love spending your time as a child, or what did you love doing as a kid? Number 2, what are you passionate about as an adult? What lights you up? What keeps you motivated? What do you do in your spare time? And the third thing is, what is important to you in life? when you think about various areas, career, health, family, personal development, God, spirituality, religion, you can start to find the gifts and the things that you love doing and finding how you share them in life. Um, if you believe in astrology, you can definitely look at this. I love communication. I wanted to study sport broadcasting, but I ended up doing sport enterprise, which I wasn't that great at the accounting part or the business part of my degree. But I've always had a creative side to me. So, in the world of astrology, my rising sign is in Gemini, which rules communications. And I loved the things like making potions and getting your hands dirty with the planet and cooking whole foods. So, somehow I've been able to kind of tie all of this stuff in about being a infopreneur of a communicator in the world of like health and nutrition. So anyways, I just wanted to share some thoughts on this. I hope these 3 questions help you start to discover some of your gifts in life. And just remember, it doesn't have to equal success of being an actress or, a world-renowned singer and things like that. We all have gifts and we share them every single day. It's just we've lived in a world of marketing and promotion where we think like, the cream always rises to the top, where it's always that top percent of successful people is an indicator of success. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you have any thoughts, please post them below. We can all learn from each other. Have a great one. See you next time. Bye.